Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the MMA RunDown. I'm Drew Shannon, alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Albert Cameron. How are you this week, sir?
I'm still recovering from last week. I think we got another great show to follow up.
A lot of news come out of last week's show.
Don't have a whole lot of time to waste. We want to get this out there. This is a show brought to fight fans from fight fans. If you got news, notes, videos, send it to us at hosts@themmarundown.com. We'd be happy to air them for you.
Exactly.
I'd also like to take a second to thank all of our supporters, everyone who's been coming up to us. Jeff from Altoona has been hugely instrumental. He's always helping me doing interviews and helping with fight results. So thank you, Jeff. Jason Royer, who's a fan of the show, he tells me, and everyone who watches every week. So thank you guys for that. Coming up, we got the news, notes, segments, all the fun stuff you've come to appreciate.
It's next on the MMA RunDown. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the MMA RunDown. News and notes.
Take us away, Drew.
All right, it's go time. Brock Lesnar's Team Death Clutch gym is no more after Lesnar's MMA retirement, according to Pat Barry.
Brock Lesnar spent in the neighborhood of $100,000 when he was training for Frank Mir. So what he did was he's getting ready to go in the UFC. He's getting all these big heavyweights together so he can train to fight world-class heavyweights. Brock Lesnar retired from the UFC. He's no longer in need of training MMA with heavyweights, so he went and he's doing his pro wrestling thing. Other guys in
is he though?
And that's subjective. The other guys in Team Death Clutch, they're trying to do their thing. They couldn't just keep it together, so now Team Death Clutch is no longer anymore. Unless Brock Lesnar has decided to come back to MMA, then you never know. He might reform Team Death Clutch.
All right. Gina Carano slated to return at MMA at Strikeforce's Haywire event, provided the Strikeforce doesn't close their doors before then. What do you know?
Gina Carano is the first lady of MMA. She put women's MMA on the map. I'm sure it's old news by now, but Strikeforce has been going through some stuff. Whether or not November 3rd would happen at all, did they get their license or anything? There's a lot of things pointing that Strikeforce is going to end up closing their doors. UFC has been cherry-picking Strikeforce for talent for a while now. There's a lot of talk of folding Strikeforce. But if Strikeforce is able to stay open long enough, Gina Carano is slated to make her MMA return. If you have not seen Gina Carano fight, she's awesome. She's got great takedowns. She's training with Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. It's one of those fights where she gets a couple warm-up fights back in her. We could be talking, will Ronda Rousey fight Gina Carano?
All right, we have an insider tip on a big local name that's going to be fighting at Complete Devastation MMA 7. Mike Kanowski is said to be fighting on the card. An opponent is yet to officially be named. Sources are very big on his style. Tell me a little bit about Mike.
People know us as the guys who are on the MMA right now, so they love to bring news to us. I'm not going to come out and say who told me for the sake of keeping my sources secret.
Sure.
But they were very, very excited that Kanowski was on the card. And they said, you got to check this guy out. He's going to be huge. An opponent hasn't officially been named yet, but a lot of people are very high on Kanowski's former performances, what he's going to bring to the CD7 card. They're telling me it's totally news and noteworthy. So in preparation for CD7, go check out Mike Kanowski. Apparently he's going to do some pretty big things on the card.
Sounds like a definite reason to buy a ticket.
If CD7 wasn't big enough, it's just another reason to go, because it's going to be one of those big names you're going to see on a bigger card, and you're going to kick yourself for not going in and seeing him when he was accessible.
Ronda Rousey is quoted as saying, "I could fight Cyborg at 145, but I don't have to." Is the Zuffa marketing machine at work with these two?
Dana White is very big on both their fighters. Cyborg Santos was the Strikeforce Women's Champion, but she got stripped of that title because performing enhancing substances in her system. Nice. So now Rousey is a champion, and these two have been bickering back and forth. I have to wonder if Uncle Dana's not pulling the strings a little bit to get people excited, because if Strikeforce does fold like we're expecting it to, and then this fight ends up in the UFC, they've already got so much hype and so much heat going into this. So, I mean, is Zuffa doing the pre-work to build this up to be a huge buy? Probably. If Rousey's saying that she could go to 45 to fight Cyborg, I think she's admitting a little bit. She's saying, You know what? Yeah, I'll do it. I don't have to, but I can. And you know what? I maintain my stance that Cyborg would put a hurting on her. But we won't know until Uncle Dan signs the contract on it. And I think it's just a matter of time now before they try to cash it on it. It's getting so big that it's going to happen soon.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Coming up on our next segment, another Albert Cameron creation. We just got to get a title screen for that, I guess. I don't know, because every week it's something new from Albert. Fact or Fiction, talking about, you'll see what we're talking about coming up next. It's the MMA Rundown. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. We've got another of your creations here, Frankenstein.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago when I was going off about like the worst MMA movies ever? I mentioned Red Belt and Never Back Down.
Right.
I was thinking back, did we ever have a good one? And I thought of the first one. The first one being Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was the story of the biopic of Frank Dux, a martial arts master who competed in the Kumite to become the world's best martial artist. This segment almost found itself in What's Eating Albert Cameron because it is it is more full of baloney than an Oscar Mayer factory.
Here we go.
Okay, Frank Dux, no one has ever been able to verify that this kumite ever happened. The word kumite is used in karate to describe a free-form sparring match, not a tournament where people are getting beat senseless. Dux says it happened in the Bahamas, not Hong Kong. No one's ever been there but Frank Dux, apparently. So either this guy is making it up, or he suffers from severe schizophrenia where he has tons of friends that he's just punching in the face. No one's ever been able to verify it. Experts are saying, and I shouldn't say experts as much as Dux detractors, that mixed martial arts tournament didn't happen like this back in the time that Dux is claiming. Dux is saying 70s, I think, late 70s. That the first real mixed martial arts tournaments were happening in Brazil with the Gracies. No one's ever heard of this knucklehead. So then, here's the best part. Dux is claiming that he's knocked out like 52 guys in a tournament. He holds like world speed records. In a tournament, in order to knock out 52 guys, you would have to have almost 1,500 guys in the tournament initially. If 1,500 guys are going to a secret underground martial arts tournament, it wouldn't be secret or underground because everyone would know. The airport would be like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Karate Master that I've seen on Black Belt Magazine. Where are you going? It's none of your business. I'm going to a secret tournament." No. 1,500 guys showing up anywhere. People are going to notice Mr. Dux. They're going to figure it out. The local trophy shop down the block from Frank Dux' camp said, "Oh, I've seen that trophy before from the Kumite because I made it." The guy is actually putting Frank Dux on blast, saying that that tournament that he won in the Bahamas, I actually made it for him. So the point of the movie, the movie's awful too. I mean, the acting is just terrible. It is exactly what you would expect out of a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in the 80s. The acting's terrible.
You don't expect much.
No, I mean, you could get better facial expressions from Kristen Stewart with modeling clay. The fights were excellent, though. If Van Damme does anything right, he does fight choreography well. It's your typical story from the 80s martial arts movies. There was a guy who was avenging his friend, who was beaten by a villain who also knew karate, and what happens in the end? The good guy wins. Now, do you remember when Oprah put James Frey on blast for his little mini?
I do.
What was that book called? A Million Little Pieces?
Something like that.
Frank Dux wrote a book about being a spy, and they did the same thing to Frank Dux as they did James Frey. They said, "No, take this out of nonfiction. It is clearly a work of fiction. No one can verify this stuff." So Frank Dux is the 1980s James Frey. And if you're going to go out and watch the movie, go buy the combo pack with Time Cop, because Time Cop's at least worth watching. That's at least a decent movie. But can't say that Albert Cameron didn't warn you about Bloodsport.
There you go. You've been warned by the one and only Albert Cameron. Steer clear from Bloodsport. All right, coming up, our spotlight fight featuring Tenyeh, Skinny Man Dixon, and Jordan Rinaldi from Complete Devastation MMA 3. That's next on the MMA Rundown.
Have you ever feared this happening? Or been annoyed when something like this has happened? One product can fix that. Secure Connect. Secure Connect keeps a retaining force against the plug, keeping it secured into the wall. You simply place each half of Secure Connect behind the plate, clip them around your cord, and push the yoke against the plug. That's it. You can use Secure Connect almost anywhere. Secure Connect provides the security you need with plugged-in electrical devices, and Secure Connect has earned the Good Housekeeping seal of quality. Every home in America needs Secure Connect. Order yours today. It's the MMA Rundown on ABC 23, and now it's time for the MMA Rundown Spotlight Fight.
Introducing first in the red corner. He's standing at 5'9", weighing 170 pounds, with a record of 4-0-0 from Team Rock, Jordan Rinaldi.
He's fighting at 170. I believe he typically likes to fight at 155. I think he's a natural lightweight.
Standing at 6'3", weighing 170 pounds, with a record of 7-7-0 from Team Baltimore Martial Arts, Tenyeh Dixon.
Wow, you said lean.
This kid is in great shape. This could be one heck of an exciting fight.
I stand corrected. This bout is 3 rounds. 3 rounds.
Final instructions from the ref, and it's time. Let's see if we get a feeling out process here. Tenyeh's going to want to keep that jab going, keep him on the end of it.
Oh, he's got some quick hands too.
He is extremely quick and extremely powerful. Those hands travel a long distance before they touch you.
Reach advantage is a big thing.
Yeah, Jordan's going to want to lower his level, cut to the inside. Oh, he's dropped him already.
Wow!
Nice, big hand. Let's see if Jordan's going to be able to recover from this. I believe the
There's
exact
the punch
same
you were
thing.
talking about.
Same thing happened in the Bermudez fight, but Rinaldi came back from it, and it looks like he's already recovered. I wonder if it would have been better if Dixon would have just worked more hands and tried to pound him out. Now he's stuck in the bottom of a strong Jordan Rinaldi. Side control
mount,
here.
Yes.
A little short elbow here. Tenyeh's going to want to frame up under him and just start bucking, try to make some space, either get guard or get to his feet. Big knees. Looks like he's trying to isolate that right arm of Tenyeh. He's going to look for an Americana here. But Tenyeh's got a lot of experience. He's got 14 professional fights. This early in the round, it's going to be tough. Oh, he moves to mount.
Go now. Keep going. Just keep going. Come on.
Back to mount. Watch the triangle coming right up. Tenyeh's going to want to posture up and shrug this off. Jordan's landing some good elbows here. See, Tenyeh's keeping his foot trapped so he can't lock that triangle on. But he's eating some elbows for his troubles here. He's keeping that leg stuffed in so he can't lock it up. Good job. Good defense by Tenyeh Dixon.
That hurts my knees just looking at it.
There you go, posturing up. And it looks like he's going to back out of this, or he's going to look to pass.
Oh, there's some good
there
shots.
It is. Good posture by Tenyeh, and he passes now. He's in side control. Let's see what he offers here.
Oh, there's a big knee. You can hear them over here.
Jordan's going to push back. He gets to half guard. Full guard. Tenyeh's posture's broken. He looks like he's going to be working
trouble.
for something. Tenyeh's pushing him up against the cage, so he loses a little bit of his mobility here. Nice scissor
Good
sweep.
reversal.
Good job, and Tenyeh gets it back to the feet where he wants to be. I think Tenyeh's going to want to stop this takedown. Keep it on his feet for a little bit, wear him out a little bit, get to lay his hands on him. He dropped him early on. There it is, the body lock. Tenyeh's got an underhook in there. He's stuffing the takedown. He's keeping his hips away.
So you almost go dead
There
right
you
there.
go. Nice job.
Big body shot.
Oh, and there's a straight arm bar. Straight arm bar.
Oh, it's a simple
Tenyeh's going to do
mistake.
it. Oh, and Tenyeh looked up. He gave him the arm. He's going to want to hug it, keep his posture. He doesn't want Jordan to extend that. If he extends his body, he extends that arm, and that's a lot of long arm to try to pull out of a submission like this. He's doing the right thing for now. See Jordan swimming his right arm through. He's got it on the opposite hip. He's going to want to spin all the way through and go for a belly down arm bar. Nice job.
Good
Keeping
first
his
round,
posture
Jay.
Broken, absolutely. Great
saw a
round.
little bit
I
of
wouldn't want to
everything.
judge that round. Tenyeh got a knockdown early on, but Jordan, it looks like he has so many submission attempts. I'm wondering how
More
they would
control.
score it. Yeah, well, how would you score that fight if he has submission attempt after attempt?
I don't know. That's what you're here for.
I'm just glad I'm not a judge. Coming in the next round, I think Tenyeh's going to want to maybe lower his level a little bit to be quicker to defend the takedown that's coming right up.
Yeah. Plus, in the first, the first round, he kind of has a feeling of what Jordan does.
Sure, that was a great feeling out period. Not that they took much time feeling each other out, but now he knows what the game plan is.
Jordan wants to get to the ground.
Absolutely. Doesn't want to stand in front of that.
But he had 4 or
That
5
range.
submission attempts there.
Oh!
Big kick.
A couple more of those, he can keep Jordan at bay. Maybe his takedowns will come from a little further away. And he'll have a little less success with the takedown if he doesn't want to step into that range.
Big knees.
Knee. Nice job. Tenyeh's going to push on him, make him carry his weight a little bit, try to wear him out so it's a little bit harder for him to try to lift him up like that and take him down to the ground. And they're both exerting a lot of energy here.
Well, you would think it would be a little bit easier for Tenyeh because he's taller. Good takedown.
More leg to grab a hold of, but Tenyeh may have his own triangle here. Up, and Jordan shrugs it off quickly. And lands an elbow in the process. Let's see what Tenyeh's guard looks like here. He's locking that arm in. Yep. Oh, an armbar attempt. Takes one for his efforts. And Jordan's keeping his head over Tenyeh's head, which is very smart when he's in his guard like that, because then he can rain punches down and still have the mobility to bail when those armbar attempts come.
Fatigue is setting in.
We're keeping a pretty good pace here. ref stands him up.
Good choice. This could be an advantage for Tenyeh Dixon also.
Sure, absolutely.
Big kick.
But Tenyeh looks like he had a pretty dangerous guard there. Maybe just need a little more time.
A quick little combo there.
See, and Jordan, his takedown came from a little further away this time. A guillotine. He's pushing his head in, or hips in. And I think Jordan did the right thing here. He doesn't want to be hung by such a tall man.
Oh, he very easily could have taken his feet right off the ground.
Sure. Jordan's got a dangerous guard. Tenyeh's going to want to posture upright and throw these hands. And I'm surprised Tenyeh didn't let him stand up.
Body shots to wear him down there.
They're going to bring his hands down so he's
Oh, nice head shot.
uncomfortable. Yeah, so he can sneak that in. Great scramble here. Who ends up on top?
Good lefts by Tenyeh Dixon.
Now let's see. Jordan's going to want to work that guard. He's back off the cage. Tenyeh keeps pushing him into the cage to limit his mobility a little bit, but there he is.
An armbar.
Very slick.
That's it.
That's it. Beautiful armbar. When he pushed him on the cage,
Simple.
Jordan was able to use the cage to get his hips up to secure the armbar.
That's
nice
going to be
job.
frustrating for Tenyeh Dixon.
Yeah, he was
simple
doing
mistake.
so good.
And Jordan just turned it around just like that.
Absolutely.
Tenyeh Dixon's there in
Brilliant.
disbelief.
The referee stops this bout in the second round at 4:06. Your winner by tap out by armbar and the complete devastation MMA welterweight champion in the red corner, Jordan.
Very impressive. To get tagged like that in the first round and come back,
Yes.
he recovered quickly. This kid is tough. This looks very similar to the Dennis Bermudez fight. He got tagged and dropped early and came back to win by submission.
For his first title.
Fantastic. This kid is going places.
Albert, another great fight. Jordan Rinaldi, what?
You look at a fight like Tenyeh Dixon and Jordan Rinaldi, you know that one of those two guys are headed for great things. Tenyeh Dixon, victorious in the rubber match against Eric the Monster Moon. Jordan Rinaldi went to the Ultimate Fighter. Didn't quite get in the house, but he was there, and that's another reason to go to these local fights. Because you and I get to say, hey, Drew, we saw Jordan Rinaldi fight way back when.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He may not have made it in the house, but he was there in the UFC for a brief period of time. And, could any of these guys that we've seen, that we've called matches at, could they be the next UFC superstar? Absolutely.
Each and every one of them.
You're going to have to come check it out, especially this November.
November 10th, Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts 7, the Blair County Convention Center. Charlie Gathers, Tyler Saltzman, Mike Kanowski's going to be there. It's going to be a huge night. You don't want to miss it.
Plus many more names. Stay tuned. We'll have all complete information coming up very, very soon. And, of course, you can visit online, CompleteDevastationMMA.com. Time to dip in the mailbag. Albert, I'm going to let you go ahead and fill this one.
We got an email from Bethany in Stormstown. Bethany, thank you very much for watching. It says, Albert, when you interviewed Greg Serb, you mentioned you petitioned the state. What made you take up that cause, and what was the process like?
What was the process like?
Well, the reason I took up the cause was I was earning my degree, and we had a desktop publishing class, and we were told to make a poster for a cause that we really, really believed in. I thought that I should be able to go to an area like State College or Altoona and catch a fight, but the sport was banned back then. So I decided that I'm going to do my part to try to get the sport back in the state. So I started with just creating the poster, and it mentioned all these sports statistics about how many people have passed away playing football, playing golf, baseball, vending machine related deaths, and even farm accidents,
Sure.
things that you can't really prevent. Well, I thought, you know what, this isn't enough. So I took to petitioning the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. I used an online petition source, and I went in and I gathered as many electronic signatures as I could. I did that for probably about 6 months, and I emailed Greg Serb habitually. I emailed that man like he broke up right after I bought my tux for the prom. Wow. You know, it was obsessive. But it was because I was so passionate about the sport that I thought we should be able to go to the Blair County Convention Center or go to the Clearfield County Fairgrounds to catch a fight, because we're fight fans and we earned it. Right. So then it was February 2007 when the news broke that the state had overturned the ban on mixed martial arts in the state. And when MMAweekly.com broke the story, they actually cited my petition that the ban had been lifted. Now, MMA Weekly reaches mixed martial arts fans over the world, so that was a huge feather in my cap. And it just goes to show that if you feel passionate about anything enough, especially the sport of mixed martial arts, people will listen as long as you have enough conviction. So thank you very much for your question, Bethany. And of course, if you have questions of your own, email them to hosts@themmarundown.com or tweet me at Cameron Rundown. At Cameron Rundown.
At Cameron Rundown?
Cameron Rundown.
You know, the question I wish you would have asked him, and I thought about this the other day.
Yeah.
What is Greg Serb like outside of the whole MMA Pennsylvania? What is Greg Serb like to do in his off time?
I wish I would have asked him that too. Greg Serb has a huge responsibility on his shoulders. He has to watch out for the safety of professional athletes, and that's not easy at all. But when things aren't so tense with getting weigh-ins and getting guys licensed, he's a very friendly guy. So I imagine he's just like you or I. He enjoys watching sports, hanging out with his buddies on weekend. I can't say for sure, but the impression I got from Executive Director Serb was he's a very nice guy.
All right. He is, too.
Yeah. That's no joke.
And we're not kissing up to him or anything like that.
No,
so
we're not fighting. It's not like we need license.
I actually do. Ring announcing. I need license. So. Moving on. Coming up, the Rundown Lowdown. Wow, I don't have a tie on this week, do I? No.
Yeah, if you watch the beginning of the show, you actually see Dwan Owens fighting on our opener.
Right.
And Antoine Penn also fought for Complete Devastation. They are managed by Molly at Southern MMA Management. And Molly, the reason I felt it was pertinent to talk to a manager was she's going out and finding these guys fights. She's finding them sponsorship deals. She is bringing the business to them. So I thought it'd be different than talking to a guy who's fighting and talking to someone who's a little bit more behind the scenes. So Molly was nice enough to talk to us at Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts 6. Had a lot of good insight. Now, her guys also got some big things going on too, so be watching for them as well. But coming up next, we got the interview with Molly from Southern MMA Management.
Albert's going to have that next on the MMA Rundown. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the MMA Rundown. I'm here with Molly. Molly, you're with Southern MMA Management.
That's right.
And Molly actually represents one of our local guys here, Brad Mountain.
That's correct.
And who are some of the other guys who work with Molly?
Well, I have a lot of guys in the South, obviously in the Southeast. I'm from South Carolina. Tonight I've got Antoine Penn up here fighting for Complete Devastation, so we're pretty excited about that. And we like to travel. My guys like to come up here and fight in Pennsylvania and other areas. All right. I've got Dwan Owens, who is also
who's also a Complete Devastation veteran. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course Brad, along with his teammate Chris Kane, who's fighting tonight in Georgia. So shout out to Chris Kane, who's making his pro Muay Thai debut tonight.
Good luck, Chris, in that Muay Thai debut. Molly, what is the biggest challenge you have being located in South Carolina and representing guys who are such a broad range from that area?
I actually enjoy that part of it. I'm a networker. I'm a good communicator. I think that as long as you keep, you speak with people, you try to travel when you get a chance to meet new people and things like that, it doesn't present too much of a challenge. I do have a guy that I'm working with that's from Brazil. And we're trying to get him brought over to the States so that he can fight here. So that has been a little challenging, but that has a lot to do with paperwork and red tape. So we're working on that. But as far as the guys in states, no problem. And I love South Carolina MMA. That's my home.
That's fantastic. Now, what's the? How many different promotions have you worked with getting your guys involved in?
Gosh, I don't even know how many. We have several that we work with very regularly. In South Carolina, we work with Conflict MMA, which is out of Mount Pleasant, Charleston area. We've worked with several others in South Carolina as well, and we're about to probably expand that a little more. Fight Lab, which is out of North Carolina, as well as Bull City Brawl, which I'm about to put half of their whole pro card is going to be my guys coming up. In October, so we're looking forward to that. If I didn't name anybody, I'm sorry, but we work with a lot of people, so yeah.
Well, for our viewers at home, Molly is really bringing MMA fights to our area that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. So, Molly, thank you very much for that. On behalf of everyone at home, Molly,
Okay.
what's of all you guys, what do you really have coming up in the future, or really big expectations that you want to share with us?
Well, I think I don't like to leave anybody out because I love all my guys. They're all game. I love the fact that they will step up and fight and take tough fights. Far away, tough opponents. They're very, up for a challenge. I have a really exciting fight announcement that we're keeping hush right now. So you guys got to check our website and our Facebook page to see that. But it's going to be upcoming for December this year. So
could you tell our folks at home what the website is for Southern MMA?
Yeah, you can go to www.southernmma.net is our website. Our Facebook is
but they can search it on Facebook and find you.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, we do all of that, so you can keep updated on what we have going on. Absolutely.
Well, guys, be sure to pay attention to that. It sounds like it's big and you want to tell everybody, you just can't yet. So pay attention to Southern MMA. That announcement's coming up big. Molly, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now, before I let you go, I need you to look in that camera and tell everyone home they're watching the MMA Rundown.
Okay, you're watching the MMA Rundown.
Well, that's going to do it for another installment of the MMA Rundown on, this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to be back again next Sunday. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook. I know we're both on Facebook.
We're both on Facebook.
I'll be friends with you. I'm fine with that.
I'll be friends with you too.
Okay, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Things are happening so fast paced during the week between our shows that sometimes we're able to blast out this news and information on social media. But most importantly, go to these fights.
Yes.
World Cage Fighting 6 is happening. World Cage Fighting Championship 6 is happening at the Tamaqua High School in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. They have some high school alums there. Go to that one.
That is when?
November 8th.
All right, check that out.
So you have time to be back November 10th for Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts 7. Where Tyler, the Daywalker Saltzman, is going to be fighting Charlie, the Madman Gathers. This is the fight that all of us want to see. This is the fight that none of us want to miss. Not one promotion could bring it. It had to have two of them coming together to bring the fight to Altoona, Pennsylvania. Don't miss it.
Do not miss it. And we'll be back next week with another installment of the MMA Rundown. We'll have more stories, maybe possibly get that interview with Tyler Saltzman and Charlie Gathers. Yeah. We'll have that for you very soon. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on the MMA Rundown.